home.
Who let the camera in here?
Oh, this is a documentary film crew.
They're not filming our meetings.
Well, it would be a pretty dull documentary if they didn't, Bob.
Let's get a few things straight. First of all, don't ask me about political strategy, because I ain't gonna tell you. And don't even think about spinning your liberal bias into this documentary, all right? You may be watching me through that camera lens, but I'm watching you right back through that camera lens. And viewfinder.
Hey, you, who is this guy? With the boom thing, that's not the same one from last week. The one last week had really big arms. Yes, I've had relationships with coworkers before. Just with coworkers, not necessarily candidates every time. I don't think that had anything to do with the campaigns not working. Hey!
I am not gonna stand here and have my reputation skewered by a couple of camera jockeys filming me behind my back.
That would be your reputation as a hard ass or a right-of-right Republican who gets along with no one.
People love me.
Hello! Hi, darling. How are you?
Oh, good.
Oh, I can see the camera crew's already started and I'm such a mess.
Oh.
Bob the Republican, I'm Ray the Democrat.
Ray, pleasure to meet you. Hey, listen, I noticed you have a little bit of a lisp. It's okay. When I was a boy, I had a lisp too. It was all right until they started calling me Little Lispy Pants. And when it got to that point, my daddy would take me out to the shed and beat me until I could say, Sally sells seashells by the seashore, without lisping 10 times in a row. And that cured me.
I don't lisp.
I know you lived in San Francisco. All right, now you may have absorbed some of them mannerisms, and I'm just trying to help you not come off as gay.
Great. Everyone ready?
John, I don't think it's a good idea to let this camera crew in here and stay and tape all this.
Bob, we have nothing to hide. We are making history. The days between now and Election Day will be immortalized by their documentation, and we will humbly play our parts.
Okay, gentlemen, if we're going to get the Democratic-Republican Union Party on the ballot in California, we're going to need 900,000 signatures in the next 30 days.
San Diego's a hotbed of disgruntled rich Republicans. They got a lot of money and they would go third party in a hot second.
Would those be the Republicans that want to outlaw abortion on religious grounds, or those vying for a new world order?
They're the Republicans with money, right?
Bob, what kind of politics would we have to favor in order to get their support?
Fiscal conservatives, small government, less spending.
Oh, that's a winning platform. Let's just ride in on George Bush's coattails.
John, we can do small government, less spending, right?
The right question, Sara, is the one that, when asked, inspires more love in all of us. Everyone is being driven by fear right now, which is a formula for anarchy. Only love can heal the socio-political divide, open closed hearts to be receptive to new ideas, and let go of the way things used to be.
Oh, right. Guys, John is going on a platform of uniting the extremes across both sides of the aisle.
Sara, I don't even want to think about them as extremes. These people are simply imprisoned by divisive attitudes.
That's cute.
Hey, you know what? It's kind of a JFK campaign.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
Oh, yeah, JFK was a horrible president. We need to be more like Reagan.
Oh, Reagan gagged me.
Well, he beat the Russians. Something JFK failed to do, I might add.
Well, that's because the CIA killed him.
When the CIA killed him, idiot, it's the Cubans.
How do you know?
Look, it doesn't matter. Reagan survived his assassination attempt. That's the important part. Allowed him to put the Reds out to pasture. Reagan was a great president, case closed.
In the process of outspending the Soviets, he managed to create the mess that we have in the Middle East now, destroy middle-class America and education. That is not a president to celebrate.
Well, then who is?
Well, Bill Clinton was a good president.
Oh my God! Blowjob Bill! Good God, that man was a disgrace to the White House. He was the worst thing to ever sit in the Oval Office.
No, the current president gets that medal.
Oh, a Bush basher. You know what? That man has more balls than most presidents we have ever had.
Yes, and he likes to swing them in front of the faces of our world's leaders, not to mention our own Congress.
You know what? People attack him because they have no integrity of their own. He intimidates them.
He has no integrity. He is the pawn of big businesses, oil tycoons, and world banks who are trying to destroy us so it's easier to take over.
Guys, let's just say that We're more like FDR.
Oh, yeah, let's say we're more like the father of American socialism.
FDR was one of the most beloved presidents in U.S. history.
Communist.
Just like forget about what president we're like.
I like Jimmy Carter.
At this fundraiser, we're going to promise cross-platform reform, cut the fat of bureaucracy, stimulate the economy.
It's this socialist government that's driving the economy down the toilet.
Fiscal conservatives would like it if we would pay down the debt. That really got Perot a long way.
We could raise taxes.
A voice just told me that if there is a debt to be paid, we must pay it. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render unto God that which is God's.
So, do you mean we should raise taxes to pay off the debt?
If I found the money in the mouth of a fish, I would say no, Ray, but if I found the money in the tax returns of the American people, then yes.
But you're never going to be able to raise their taxes unless you don't tell them about it first.
Listen, trickle-down economics works.
Do you mean voodoo economics? I mean, that's what's put us in our current state of economic prosperity.
Would you explain to Negative Nancy here that all we need to do is cut taxes for the rich and the businesses? They're the ones with the money. They can stimulate the economy. It's that simple.
Look, people are suffering because of high gas prices, repoed homes, and the falling dollar. I mean, people that need help don't need tax breaks. They need social programs.
Handouts.
Lifelines.
Cut taxes.
Spend more.
Gentlemen, we can do both.
What about the debt?
Shut up! Maybe we can hook the donors with social issues.
We could promise to ban gay marriage.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, let me guess. You're a liberal, so your little handbook says that you gotta fight for the queers.
Bob, that's offensive.
Well, I'm sorry, I forgot. You lived in San Francisco, so some of them are probably your best friends.
Yes, Bob, and you live in Texas, lynching country. But guess what? You're in California now, where we gays have rights.
Well, I suspected Ray was homosexual. My gaydar's just fine. I'm just from the don't ask, don't tell school of sexuality demarcation. One minute you're trying to make your point, next minute there's a homo in your chair and you got no place to sit.
We should have never been there in the first place. We need to bring our troops home now.
What we need to do is say something very vague about a gradual reduction in troops, maybe one up the Democrats by shortening the time frame.
Yeah, what do we do then? Leave another legacy of broken promises and grow up to be future terrorists.
If I could only get all the warlords in the Middle East to come to Disneyland and go on the ride, it's a small world after all. And then when they get off that ride, ask them honestly, do they still want to ethnically cleanse each other off the face of the earth? The boats are only about 4 people by 8 rows. That's 36. There's more than 36 warlords in the Middle East. And then I don't want them sitting on each other's laps. I don't think they'd like that. And then I really don't want them in separate boats because you have that us-them dichotomy again.
Disney.
It's a world of races, a world of creeds. It's a world of jihads and enemies. If we turn the other cheek, we can learn to become meek. If we love each other all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world.
Keychain.
No, stop. Just don't talk about Iraq and the war anymore. Don't do that. Just focus on domestic policy. We'll get you on the ballot for California, okay?